So, anyways, welcome back to the drive, and we're gonna be doing for some first races because there is no public races because due to underrated game itself, and because I do that we're absolutely doing for a after purchasing for some kind of cars. Instead, I'm never buying for this kind of an Mazda Miata as well, and exactly we don't absolutely using for the Mazda MX-5. We got the Golf as we have possible to do like this, and the BMW M5 or M3. It's the M3 E92 as we have there for a little bit for wins well. So this is a Corvette Stingray. So it's absolutely for, and it's Gallardo as well. We have something for some kind of one, two, three, four strikes. We have this for the kind of today, as even though I just bought this car from jailbreak, as we never to do. All you have to do is you gotta be buying the Ferrari 458 Thalia. It's the Thalia itself for this one because I really absolutely we have never know about this one. The F8 Superfast, as we need to get theirs as possible. And but my plan is we need to buy the McLaren 720S as we're reaching to existing for a 300 miles an hour. During at this 300 mile per hour session, we have to all buy this only one existing car about 300 miles an hour, which is the most insane vehicle of them all for the Bugatti Chiron Pure Sport, as we have for never having for today. And because of some kind of, and we realize in the top Chiron is the Super Sport as well, and the Chiron Pure Sport must be known as the top G's car as well. So by using some kind of cars, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 vehicles as well, because this one is the fastest. Because if you just gotta be spawning like ourselves, we got starting for 100 miles an hour and about $30,000 as well. So let's gonna be opening up for back to dealership, I guess. So if after gonna be going hit to out for 200 miles an hour for existing is one time, after we cannot able to buy something like its American vehicle like itself. So if I'm gonna be buying a little bit ones for 196 miles an hour, by 192 miles an hour, we cannot able to get this. But always we have to buy the Nissan R35 and purchase requires for $105,000. As we cannot able to get around here for 204 miles an hour, we might able to get for a Dodge Challenger Hellcat as we're gonna be doing as to buy this one, as we're gonna be buying the AMG GTR that I just really own in driving simulator or driving some kind of a little bit for just something like I don't really know about this one. So my new plan is we're gonna be buying some sports cars is even more faster than 200 miles per hour currently. So as we're gonna be doing for our first drive, I need to teleport as this one. If we're gonna be teleporting for a little bit one, so if I'm gonna be teleporting for this one, some races, I'm gonna be started out for you cannot able to teleport because you have to drive your vehicle as really fast as possible. But going on to the teleport and status has joined the race, and because if we're gonna be doing for a public race, but I'm sorry this isn't absolutely really good as well because due to underrated status as even possible. But all you have to do, it's time for our private races instead of public races for 6 players required for after redoing for our race. Only 1 players can win around starting in 100 miles an hour that we're starting at this race for literally soon by using for a Ford Mustang that we should be able to get away from already and really go. So as we're gonna be doing for our first race, literally win as well. So as we're gonna be doing such a 186 miles an hour, pick our first checkpoint as well. So it looks like the checkpoint is another one for after we reaching for our first checkpoint, 101 miles an hour, 101 miles driven, and we got that ourselves, and the progress will be 35% to 45, and looks like even the morning has come to a start. As we're starting for this event, that I made sure that we're going to be checking out 102 miles driven we have for today. and missed a turn existence and hit by a tree. And looks like we're gonna be our next checkpoint will be going over here. Position, lap time. And we never absolutely find our status, as we cannot able to slip around here. I swear this is absolutely kind of just unnecessary it was. Now back into Las Vegas, unfortunately requires to be in the desert, which is absolutely kind of just a little bit necessary. But looks like we have to come into a crazy drift, as we're almost there, one lap at a time, and we have the winner as the Ford Mustang wins. 1 minute and 22 seconds. As we're finished for our very first time. And that's how bad things happened. Like I didn't finish to stop your vehicle in order to finish for $1,500. 1 minute and 36. That's not a good record. Second attempt, as we're gonna be doing for our Gran Turismo style, to hit our first gear, hit the second gear for our over at 70 miles an hour. As we reach up into for over 100 miles an hour for straight, 1 mile has driven, 104 miles driven, as we ever gonna get possible, as we need to hit around 4 miles an hour straight, 186 almost. We cannot able to get around for a speed for much higher as possible, because sadly it's gonna be very impossible to do so, as our last couple of corners, even following for our checkpoints, and another mile has driven for 105 miles driven. As we come far into our next couple of contestants, we have to slow down as really possible, as we never say. And this is the stunt dirt track section, as we needed to slow down against another mile has been driven. And the next mile should be gonna be 107 miles driven. As our next checkpoint will be slow you down for against a little bit for this time. $6 we have for today. Almost $40,000. Stop your vehicle in order to finish in first place. And another has been done it as well. So let's do another race for another around the town race to do for a countryside race complete. Around the town has been completed. So the countryside has been completed, and next race is gonna be around the town by required 1 player at a time. And because of second attempt, let's do for another itself to do so, as we absolutely doing for our fastest way, and we have for our crazy things as well. So let's do around the round, and around the city we go. As we came by to get for our $6 another mile, and another one as really possible. Missed our turn because of due to some kind of a huge power slides and mistaken for a power slide too hard. And we're gonna be taking advantage to $18 drifting against, well, try not to drift against now, because we're gonna be doing for some kind of an unreliable detectable violation as well. So looks like we're gonna be taken into a one extraordinary action and for the 1970s exactly as well, by using a 185 mile per hour vehicle, as we're going to be doing for our one status, 108 miles driven, as we came by that we're doing for another one, and 60% to 75% of progress of race, 66% of progress, 72% as we came by and turns to the left, as we came by and violate anything as well. So because of this kind of just unreliable strategy, another mile has been driven. Only 1 mile to go, and that is gonna be the final. And stop your vehicle, winning for $1,500 as even possible. Moving on to our next race before I count 1 mile to go for 110 miles driven, as we never could expect this one as even literally possible as well. And another mile has officially driven, and the next race should be gonna be a highway race instead of going to hit up to 200 miles an hour. And our last race is going to be joining inside of the race when I started this out, that I just using for the Saab Turbo X, which is possibly speeding through uphill as really fast as possible. And we're about to, here we go, as we're doing this for our very first time in Trial Mountain without hitting for 200 miles an hour. As even one time that we're gonna be spent here is going for our left here that I recognize to get up here as fast as possible, and contains for over 2 minutes that we're gonna hit things out. And our next race is existing for just a little bit for this time. 111 miles per hour and 101 miles driven. 111 miles driven until next mile should be gonna be 112 miles driven, as we never gonna be far as literally for the historic race battle against, well, 112 miles driven has been counted. And another one is gonna be hitting throughout for a lot of miles an hour. 186 miles an hour should be gonna get the max status as well. This is absolutely, we went this for a little bit for longer, as we're gonna be doing for a mountain drive. We have our first lap times as racing as we know it, as another mile has been driven. 113 miles driven as we gonna be take down for this a little bit for taking advantage for a high top speed of one priority to get away from these ones. As our 186 miles an hour, this is where we get away from police, as we're doing for literally for one lap, Breaking Bad against the first time, and we have officially done it. But check break in our lonely sides, $1,500 looks like we cannot able to win, requires for more and more players, as we never gonna be doing about this highway race, and a drag race was absolutely required for over 200 miles per hour. This is where I might able to get for spawning for a Nissan R35 GTR. Now exactly, we're gonna get back into the dealership, and another mile has been driven for 115 to 116 miles driven, as we never came to expect far for exclusivity for just a little bit, well, because we have to end for this video quick. So even though the most recent parts is absolutely gonna be coming next to do this, at least if I something that I'm gonna be buying the Nissan R35, which requires for the starter pack against VIP as well, requires for some Game Pass. Exactly, we're gonna be buying for the 196 miles an hour, that the same as plus 10 miles per hour, then a Ford Mustang for our only next generation to do this. Like I never say, that's it for this kind of one video for this time, as well as we never absolutely to do this. So if you guys enjoyed for this video, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and click that bell, as we're gonna be doing for our next couple of parts to do so. And I want to make sure that it was for, thank you for so much for reaching over 300 subscribers, because we have something kind of just for a new plan for Dynaco 400. Thanks for watching, and this is Triple Concept signing off, and I'll talk to you guys all later.